2-0 Atletico Madrid.
2-0 Atleti. Finally getting an away win. They head into this one with not a single away win to their name, but they finally pulled it off. This is what it means for the top half of the La Liga standings. Atletico de Madrid right there up to fourth position, just 1 point behind Villarreal, who are in third, but they were able to put some breathing space in between them and Real Betis. Both of them went into this game today level on points, but it's Atleti who take 3 points back to the capital. Well, speaking of Atletico de Madrid, we have a former Atleti man himself, our Luis Garcia. Luis, Atleti Cholo Simeone bouncing back from what was a humbling game and loss to Arsenal in the Champions League. They finally get their away win. How did you see this game? What stood out to you?
Not many things, to be honest. First thing is there is a clean sheet. That's something good. Another thing is that they made a fantastic first 45 minutes. At least they were very clinical. They had a couple of options, and 2 goals is always a good thing, the first 45. But once again,
it's true. We kind of did erase Atletico de Madrid in terms of the La Liga title race. We kept it at the 2-horse race that it usually is between Real Madrid and Barcelona. But looking at it now and the way Barca are going, they are only 3 points behind them. Could Atleti be onto something here?
For the league title?
Or at least maybe second.
Okay. Maybe I'm not erasing them just yet.
Okay.
But I feel like
there's a big but coming.
But you know when you have a bad eraser, right? and you go over it, and it doesn't really erase the whole thing.
It just smudges it.
It smudges. It just kind of gets the paper dirty. That's how I feel about Atletico Madrid right now. They're not fully erased. Not fully erased from the title contention, but I don't think they're anywhere near it. I see Atletico Madrid today in the first half, and I'm thinking, okay, interesting. Maybe there is link up between Baena and Julian Alvarez. How does the relationship between Alex Baena, not only with Julian Alvarez, but Nico Gonzalez over here, Giuliano Simeone over there. Pablo Barrios got injured today, so that's a problem, that's a concern. But the midfield working well, defensively solid enough. I'm thinking 45 minutes, I like this from Atletico Madrid. And they're nowhere near the level of Real Madrid, at least in the differential. If they were to play Real Madrid every weekend at the Metropolitano with that sort of energy, with that sort of intensity and the mindset of us against the world, yeah, I'll take Atletico Madrid. Because in that sort of environment, they thrive. But when it's about them creating opportunities and scoring goals consistently and then taking a step forward and remaining in an advanced position in their line of confrontation, they're unable to do that with any sort of consistency. Can't trust this team to hang around for too much longer.
But here's my issue. This has been the conversation around Simeone for years.
I know, Shaq. I believe I've made that same breakdown for the last 7 years.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating thing to it. You know, Luis highlights Lo Celso. I'll talk about Simeone. Outstanding players. And this Atletico Madrid side can produce some outstanding football. But I'll be honest, they scored in the 3rd minute, and I thought, this is going to be a long 87 minutes here. Because that's just who Atletico Madrid continue to show themselves to be over some time. Now, granted, they gave us 42 more minutes, but then the second half was really one to forget. So to your question about can they really run down Real Madrid, who are top with Barcelona, no. In the early goings, they'll stay close. But then too often, I just think some of this negativity comes back to haunt them in the long run over the bigger picture.
But they're not close to Real Madrid. They're 8 points behind.
Yeah.
So that's why I say maybe not erased, but certainly a smudge. They're not in the conversation. No. This is a team that just won their first away game of the season, and we're nearly in November. So they cannot be in a title conversation just yet.
Luis, well, we'll take baby steps then, and we won't look at the big picture for Atletico de Madrid because, as Ale said in the pre-show, it's hard to always look at the big picture for them. But up next, they're back at the Metropolitano. They have Sevilla. We know that it has been a bit of a fortress for Atletico de Madrid. So do you see them making it back-to-back wins?
Well, they got Sevilla, they got Levante, I think, and Getafe. They are three teams that, we can think on, at least on paper, they can get the 3 points and create that momentum. I think that the consistency there is talking is going to be very important. It's okay to become solid playing away against Betis and scoring 2 goals. It looks like a fantastic, but if you see really what Atletico Madrid can provide, cannot give you that doubt. Can they make it again? Can they do it in a consistent way? Can they do it 3 back-to-back or 3 4 games? Because back-to-back is only 6 points and you're still far away from the top 2. And you need to keep that consistency. So that's the main concern. Now, Pablo Barrios is going to be out, hopefully not for many weeks, because definitely is a very important player into the middle of the park, waiting for Almada to get back to the fitness. Cardoso is still not on the list. So this kind of situation are not helping to Atletico Madrid to keep that consistency that is needed. And if you want to arrive to the last part of the season with options to win the league, or at least be closer to the top 3 teams or top 2 teams on the table, you need that consistency. Consistency in the last third, scoring goals with Sorloth, with Julian Alvarez, with Griezmann, with Alex Baena, with all of those players in top form, counting with Juliano and Nico, of course, but also at the back, not conceding goals. So very important today, clean sheet. Now they have to build on this. If you are going to play against Sevilla and concede again goals, then you are back again on what we've seen Atletico de Madrid so far this season. So not enough. You need the consistency.
All right, well, Real Betis won't have very long to lick their wounds because they are back in action again during the week, because the Copa del Rey is back on ESPN, an absolute plethora of games that you could choose. All the action starts on Tuesday. As for Betis, they're in action on Thursday against Palma del Rio, 4 p.m. Eastern time for that game on ESPN+. All right, well, at this point, let's welcome in the other member of our team. Mario Melchior is joining us. But, Luis, let me start with you on this one, just because you were sat right beside Maka. And it's not often we see him that incensed. He was so angry, he stormed off at one point, and you were left behind.
Not at one point. He just left, period.
He just left after. He said what he had to say about Vini, and he left. But we want to separate the 2 incidents that we're talking about Vini Jr. There was, of course, firstly, the reaction that he had when he was substituted off. And then later we'll get into the reaction of what we thought of his involvement in the little post-match tiff with some of the Barcelona players. But firstly, to him being subbed off and even seeing Xavi's body language towards him, what did you make of it? This is not what we want to see when we thought Vini had matured by now.
Yeah, we were talking before the game about that situation. We thought that Vini Jr. was maturing, was understanding that he's not anymore the main player of the team, that is a collective team, that you need to win trophies together with the rest of the players. And this kind of moments, we put them back. And, well, he was actually having a pretty nice game. He was important in the first 45. Maybe in the second half wasn't involved that much. And I think that's why he was frustrated, because the team could see that he was really getting closer to win the game, El Clasico, after 4 defeats last year. And so in the end, it's something that we don't want to see, or at least we don't want to see often. It happens at some point, but it was quite sad to see it. I think we saw when he came back, probably someone talked to him and tried to make him understand what is the situation. And now they try to put them on. I saw that they make a kind of a statement on social media, not talking about this, talking about the game and talking about the situation, but no kind of apologizing by his behavior, something that I would have appreciated, but I'm not one to say anything about it. So I'm just don't like to see these kind of things happening, and much more when you are winning the El Clasico after a long, long time.
Yeah, Ale, Luis is right. We'll get to his statement in a bit, but that was him talking about what happened with some of the Barcelona bench after the game. But he hasn't addressed or taken accountability that, once again, being subbed off, you're not showing the right thing, especially towards a new manager who has made it very well known that he's not afraid to make decisions against you if come to be.
Right, and even beyond that, if Vini wants to make it about Vini, okay, fine. That's what you choose to do, so be it. But what he loses sight of is now we're talking about bad Vini. We're not talking about how good he was in the game and how good he was in the first half and how he was taking players on and how he was creating opportunities and how he was taking advantage of the 1v1 situations and how that relationship with Mbappe seems to evolve and seems to be moving in the correct direction for him, for Mbappe, and for Real Madrid. We're not talking about any of that. And so it actually backfires. Vini, it backfired. All of this, now we're talking about your behavior, not your playing. And that is a part that I don't know if these players have somebody in their lives that they trust, that really can get in their ear, and somebody who sits them down and says, Vini, see, now the conversation is not about your playing. Now the conversation is about your behavior, about what you said, what you didn't say, the arms, the this, the that, the fact that you're storming into the locker room. You are doing yourself, Vini, you are doing yourself harm. You are harming your career. You're harming your image that you worked so hard to build. You are the one who's hurting it because of your behavior. And in an environment, in a platform like El Clasico, where you were playing so well, you could have elevated your status and elevated your profile and elevated your career in a positive way. He chose to do in a negative way.
Mario, if you're Vini's teammates, if you saw your teammates storming off like this to being subbed off after, what was a good game, what's your reaction? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think what the guy said, you understand, like it's always sad for the team that things like this happen. But the other part, we also have to understand he's an emotional kid. I think we all had that also as individuals. But I think you got to be smarter. I think Vini wasn't really smart in the way he came off. Sometimes we feel it and we have our mind thinking about something that we don't agree with the manager, that his choices and stuff like that. And we highlighted already, I watched the game too, and I enjoyed the way he played. It was so difficult. Like, I was watching the game and thinking like, Vini, I don't want to play against you. But then you're going to do that? I'm like, why are you doing that? Because in a way, if you not agree with something as an individual, I always think go into the dressing room and take a moment where you tell the coach. And I know he's been going through a little difficulty because the coach sometimes puts him in, takes him out. He has difficulties. He doesn't always start. He has moments. And he was the main star. And then, some other stars join the group. So I think it's more collective. And I think he has to be smarter. And with that much talent, don't let it go waste in stupidity like this.
Well, like I said, after the game, tempers did flare. And at one point, as you pointed out, when Vini was subbed off, he was obviously angry. He looked like he went down the tunnel, but then he came back out.
No, he went down the tunnel. It didn't look like it. He went down the tunnel.
He came back out for a little post-match scuffle with the Barca bench, and he spoke about it. He said, look, the Clasico is like that. There are a lot of things happening on and off the pitch. We try to maintain a balance, but it's not always possible. We didn't want to offend anyone, not Barca players nor the fans. We know that when we step onto the pitch, we have to defend our side, and that's how it was today.
But then once it continues, and the little storm down the tunnel, and the extra histrionics on the bench, you just want Vini just to calm down. Because again, we are talking about one of the best players at arguably the biggest club in world football in what is, in my mind, the biggest game in world football. So, of course, there are a lot of eyes that are going to be on you. Now, keeping in mind, this is not his first meltdown, I say in inverted commas, against Xabi Alonso being substituted. So he has to be, if we are to believe that Vinicius Jr. continues to mature, and I think in so many ways he has, these are things that he has to cut out of his game. I will also add that Real Madrid as a club probably have boosted Vini to the point where he thinks he's beyond reproach. I still haven't gotten over that Ballon d'Or thing that I'm still harking on that. But they've kind of...
You okay?
I'm just saying, you do that, and then you can't be surprised when Vinicius feels and acts as though he's the biggest thing at the football club. That comes with the territory, and that's the club's doing. That being said, so now somebody has to bring him back down to earth. And in all honesty, it seems Xabi Alonso is exactly the man, given his record, both as a player and as a manager, to do that. As a Real Madrid player, most of the point in this instance. So Xabi Alonso, I think, continues to handle himself and handle his situations as well as anybody could, and needs to be applauded for that. The spillover after the game, I'm less critical of any of the Real Madrid players in that regard. And while it may not have been intended that way, I totally understand why Real Madrid and their players take it that way. Because if it were me and I were in that dressing room, that's exactly what would be done as well. And then, given the emotions of that game, as I say, in my mind, the biggest club game in world football, given the emotions of it, given everything, again, last season coming into this one. I totally understand the reaction of Real Madrid players, and I am not I'm not at all critical of some of that spillover.
No, and this is not specific to just El Clásico. This is not specific to Real Madrid, Barcelona. This sort of behavior you would have in any sport, anywhere in the world, at any level. If you have somebody from the other team run their mouth ahead of the game, and then come game time, your team beats that guy's team, you're gonna let him know, take it, take it, take it, eat it, take it. Yeah, keep talking, buddy. Keep talking. Oh, you're still talking? Okay. That I have no issue whatsoever with. And I heard some of the conversation about Frankie de Jong saying, well, maybe Dani Carvajal could tell him this in a phone call. And I'm like, no. The moment is now. Now. We just beat you. The moment is now. And I'll let you know that I just beat you. I don't need a phone call to let you know that I just beat you and I just kicked your backside. This is the moment to let you know. In front of all these people. You talk, now listen. And listen to me.
Mario?
Look, we all been through this. And I think I do have to agree with what the guys are saying. You know why? Because when someone goes at you, like Yamal, he's a young boy. But regardless of he's a young boy, he still affects the situation. So it comes up. It won't surprise me if the manager maybe, highlighted it in the dressing room and then to spark the players to get them going. Because, this is things that happens. We all know that. Every footballer cannot tell me that a coach came into the dressing room and literally on one of the biggest games highlighted what the other opponent said about the team or whatever. So I also heard a story of Guus Hiddink, who was the coach of Madrid for a long time. He said it himself. He said, this game, why this is so big and why Saka said this is arguably one of the biggest games in world football. Why? Because it's also a political debate what's going on. So we don't want to go on there, but I'm just saying this is much bigger, and when this happens, those players stand in the dressing room, oh man, you're fired up. And then after the game, when it kicks off, look how many players that were not even starting were coming on the game, on the field, trying to, get involved in the argument. So this is now, man, football. I'm happy that the Clasico is that fiery. Why? Because I don't want them to fight. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see that fighting stuff. But I definitely want to see some spies in big games.
Oh, Mario loves it. He loves the drama. Luis, I know you're not a very dramatic person, but Vini Jr. now has pretty much one season left on his contract. We spoke to Alex Kirkland earlier on about this, and he did mention that there is the feeling there in Spain that your boy Xavi is not necessarily Vini's #1 fan. And as Shaka pointed out, he has been really good at man management, especially managing Vini in this one. But if these antics continue, and if what we're hearing is true, do you see Xavi and Real Madrid putting up with Vini much longer than this one season?
I'm not in Xavi's mind. I don't know what they're going to do,
but
of course, he's not helping.
Call him up, Luis. Call him.
He's not helping. Of course, this kind of behavior is not helping. He's my buddy. No, but this kind of behavior is not helping. He's not helping because what Xavi is trying to build is a strong team. It's a strong squad, a team that collectively can win trophies, can be strong for many years, and you're trying to make everyone important. I need every single one of you. Brahim Diaz hasn't been involved, but now I need it for the Clasico. Players into the midfield that haven't been involved, like Camavinga, now I need him. I'm going to use him because everyone is important. And every single time that you're going to use it and I'm going to replace, you're going to put me in trouble. I don't want behaves like this near me because that's not something that is going to help me when you have a rotten apple. What you have to do into the basket and remove it and continue and buy more because that's what is going to happen. But listen, guys, what I don't understand about this situation is, and I totally agree with you, you talk, I win, I give you the talking. Yes, now you take it. But listen, why is Vini Jr. facing Lamine Yamal? I win, I'm laughing, I'm joining, and you talk to me and I say, yeah, but to what? Why is Vini Jr. so angry at Lamine Yamal and wants to rush at him and wants to run? I would like to see that no one else hold him. You know, everyone moves around, and I want to see him running. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? You know, it's like
Luis wants to see a fight.
Maybe he's going to bet him on his back. He's going to bet him on his back. He said, I like you as a player.
Hold me
I like
back.
you as a player.
Hold me back. Yeah, hold me back.
But wait a minute. So, yeah, I agree with what Luis is saying, right? All right, you want to fight? Go ahead and fight. But,
You mean the tunnel?
But wait a minute. But Lamine Yamal was doing the same things. Like,
Yeah.
I'll see you out. He was like, I'll see you outside. And if you take that angle as to who was in front of him, it's Thibaut Courtois who's about this. This
Hold
guy,
me back.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even fit in the tunnel. And this is the guy that you're gonna fight? Come on.
Oh, boy.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
Because if Bellingham didn't give him that ball, he would have told him, like, why don't you slot me in? And as a defender, you got to run earlier than the guy that's quicker than you. And if you don't do that and you hold your high line, one day it's going to crack, eh? Okay, you can do it one time, you know, and then, okay, maybe he's offside the second time. But it's going to come a moment where you look up, boom, there is no pressure. When there is no pressure on the guy with the ball, that's for any footballer. It doesn't matter what level you play in, no pressure on the ball, back off. Because if there is no pressure, that means that the guy on the ball can see everything. And if you then stand and wait, the guy that's next to you that's quicker, he's going to run you.
Here's the issue with that for me, and we've spoken about this Barcelona highlight, right? And Hansi Flick insists on playing with it.
Yep.
And to Mario's point, you understand, okay, there's, as a defender, the guy's quicker than you, start to run before the other guy. But it's Kylian Mbappe, and how quick he is. How early do you have to start to run at this point? You know, and that's
Very early.
So
Are we talking about current players or you?
well, I stand as good a chance as those players there. And I mean, even in that goal, all right, he starts his run. Look at how much space he has by the time he collects his ball. Unless you adjust, and Hansi Flick is not, unless you adjust that starting line, that starting defensive line, you're just offering Kylian Mbappe or someone with his pace. It's just too easy. And Hansi Flick refuses to budge. They got away with it last year. This year, not so much.
What Hansi Flick will tell you in that specific play is that as Bellingham is turning away from Pedri and Fermin Lopez is dropping underneath to try to help defensively, that one of those guys has to force Jude Bellingham to play the ball back. That would be the pressure on the ball that was missing in that particular play, but has been missing from Barcelona, I would say, the whole season. The consistency of pressure on the ball. The key to this high line is putting pressure on the ball, closing down the space so that when the player that has the ball doesn't have time to go, oh, well, should I play it there? Should I play it here? No. So that he sees the pressure coming, and that means he's putting the head down. He's more concerned about this pressure than he is about finding the penetrating pass. If they don't put pressure on the ball, it could be you running through, Shaq. You're getting in behind. Everybody's running in behind. And I say that as a joke, but think about some of the players that have been...
No joke.
Think of some of the players that have run in behind. And think about the game against Sevilla, and think about the game against Girona, in which if you just time it well, there's no pressure on the ball, you will find all of that space readily available. If they're not going to change that, the one thing that you have to have is players that are going to pressure the ball and force the possession to go backwards, not forward.
Let's switch focus now and have a look at the Premier League standings. Arsenal, after a big 1-0 win over Crystal Palace at the weekend, are now 4 points clear at the top of the table. Yes, ahead of Bournemouth, who are in second, Spurs in third, and Sunderland, who are in fourth. Manchester City and Manchester United level on points. Who would have thought? And yep, you have to keep scrolling down to find Liverpool in seventh position. Mario, I'm coming to you first, especially after what we saw this weekend, because you had in your early season predictions Liverpool winning the league, but now it looks like Arsenal could start to run away with it, given the problems we're seeing from the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. So which of these teams, either City or Liverpool or anyone else, do you realistically see challenging Arsenal now for the title?
I mean, if you look at both, I think, they both are unsettled. I think they're both going through a difficulty. Maybe that we highlight the Liverpool more because, it's a new pattern after you won the league. So that's why we're more focused on them. And so that's why I say, okay, if he gets them going again, they, for me, are still the prospect to might create a bigger upset. Why? Because City, if Haaland doesn't score, like we saw this weekend, it becomes a difficulty for them. And that's why I feel like it's more pressure on them in the sense of getting the goals. And I think Liverpool is just because the machine is not running. But we hope it kicks off and then Arsenal will get a problem because at the moment, even if you don't like football, Arsenal is the favorite.
Shaka, Ale, do you want to chime in? Do you think it will still be Liverpool to challenge Arsenal?
Right now, yes. And I kind of wondered about City, given the fact that before this weekend, City was still 3 points behind Arsenal, despite not playing well. But again, you see the reliance. And while on one hand, it's great to have somebody like Erling Haaland, even somebody with his numbers needs to have a supporting cast. And you just feel that some of those players, some of the players that you expected, whether it's Foden or Reinders, maybe Cherky comes good as he gains full fitness and has kind of found his feet within this City team. Maybe he's the one that kind of changes the fortunes. But right now, for Liverpool, and it's just been such a turnaround for them from what we saw to start the season to what we've seen over recent weeks. And if you're Arne Slot and you're looking for positives from the game on the weekend, there are a couple. No, there's a lot for you to work on. But Kirkes, who's struggled, found the back of the net. Mo Salah, who struggled, found the back of the net. Is that something that you can build on? Can they take confidence from that in kind of jump-starting, let's be honest, jump-starting their season? Because even when Liverpool were undefeated, they simply weren't playing well.
Yeah.
So can that be the spark that jump-starts Liverpool at this point? Right now, that's those are ifs, ands, and buts, but we're talking Liverpool and City here. The truth is, what we've seen from Arsenal is just far and away better than everybody else. They are so solid, so secure in every single department. Yeah. They've got numbers in every single department. This is with the only team that can stop Arsenal at this point is Arsenal. Is if they just manage to shoot themselves in the foot. And while there's been no signs to suggest as much, I don't see, given that there are no signs, I don't see either City or Liverpool really eclipsing Arsenal.
So if we're going to make an argument for either one of these teams, whether it's Manchester City or Liverpool, I would suggest that Liverpool would be the most likely to make a push. But the bigger question is, how does Liverpool go about making a push? Because right now, they do not know how they're going to win the next match. Never mind making a push. They don't know with certainty. And for anybody that has been in successful teams, when you walk into the locker room every Monday, as you're preparing for the game on the weekend, there is a certainty that you feel you're going to win on the weekend. Whatever we're working on, whatever our game plan is, the execution is going to be there and we're going to win it. You're not even thinking about the team that you're playing against. You're concerned about yourself and how good you feel about yourself. That's when you're playing well. That's when you're consistently winning. This is not happening with Liverpool. The other side of that conversation is when you walk into the locker room on Monday, preparing for the game on the weekend, you have no certainty whatsoever as to how you're going to go about winning the game. You don't really trust the tactical plan. You don't really trust the players that are being selected. You don't really trust that guy's going to do the job and that guy's going to do the job, and you're not sure that you're going to do the job because you haven't been playing well individually. And that builds negative momentum. And it's so very difficult, even for a team as talented as Liverpool, it is so very difficult to turn that around. And in order to turn that around, you have to have structure. You have to have organization first so that everybody knows where they're supposed to be so that they can do the job with clarity. Arne Slot's job right now is to provide this team with clarity. Not this guy goes here, that guy goes over there, and freedom for that guy to move there, and freedom for that guy to find the space. And no. We're going to make it clear for everybody what your job is. Within this structure, this is what we want you to do. These are our starting positions. Let's start here. And then the talent will take over. It's going to be a difficult, long road back for Liverpool to get back into this race. And to your point, Shaka, they're going to need help from Arsenal in order for that to be the case. But Liverpool right now need to figure out a way to win the next game.
Let's talk about Manchester United, shall we?
What
a big win against Brighton at the weekend for Ruben Amorim's men, and that made it 3 wins in a row. Yes, indeed, Mario. And look, things are looking better at Manchester United. I didn't necessarily say good, but do you feel like things are finally starting to click?
I think what's happening with him now is that the players, I think, starting to understand what he wants, and he have worked really hard, because we know all the critique and all the people that went through him during that storm that everybody's going to him, he still kept his calm and managed to, come up with records like this. Because the game against Brighton is a team that we all know. You understand? They can be very creative and come up with things that you sometimes go like, wow. How can they, they don't invest as much money as the bigger ones, but they still manage to and capable to do things.
Because you look at who Manchester United had up front before when, Ten Hag brought in the likes of Xerxes, Rasmus Højlund as well, even though they were quality in their leagues there, but they were not Premier League proven. And then you look at Mateus Cunha, look at Brian Mbeumo now, and just how they're able to just, hit the ground running. That's been the biggest thing for United.
That's not been the biggest thing for United, in my opinion.
Okay.
But let me just say, it's contributed. But let me just say, and what a difference a couple of weeks makes. Had Manchester United lost to Sunderland, I really question whether Amorim would have seen out the week as Manchester United manager. But Ali spoke a couple of minutes ago about how pained Liverpool players look on the pitch. You contrast that with Manchester United right now, and it is an absolute 180, or as Craig would phrase it, an absolute 360, as to how good, how comfortable, how much these players just seem to be enjoying their football. And that's the biggest thing for me, Alexis. Just how different the body language is on the park of Manchester United's players now as compared to 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Now, to your point, you did not have the quality to get the opening goal that, like you saw from Cunha last season. You didn't have the quality of runs from Mbeumo as you saw for his 2 goals. As you've seen for much of this season, indeed from Mbeumo, who has been one of the brighter attacking sparks of Manchester United all season long. There's still question marks about Casemiro and his mobility through midfield. But let's also know, and while there are question marks about Manchester United, this is a good Brighton side. This is a good Brighton side that dragged Manchester United back to 3-2. And again, 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, you would have seen Brighton at least getting an equaliser, if not going on to win it. Yet Manchester United did not seem ruffled. Just kept their...
a little.
Well, but
a little.
But they got the win.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel fluky, as maybe if this had happened 3 or 4 weeks ago, it would have felt fluky. It didn't this time around. They made it a little, Manchester United made it a little too nervy, but then they were able to get over the line. And I think they should be commended for that, because even with the same 11 players, I'm not sure we could have been seeing that 3, maybe 4 weeks ago.
Ale?
If I think of the turnaround of Manchester United, and if I'm going to make it about one player as to what he was before, when this team was all over the place, as to what he is now, I'm going to go with Mario's boy, Matthias de Ligt, who, you could make the argument, has been horrendous for Manchester United for a long period of time. And you see him the last couple of games, and you go, wait a minute,
who?
Is he back at Ajax? Look at this guy. sliding challenges and winning balls and winning 50-50 and distributing play and showing leadership and passion and really sure of himself and confident in the way he's playing. And if you just take the league and you extrapolate that and spread it all over the field, that's what you're getting from Manchester United. Guys who 3 weeks ago looked like, oh, mommy, nope, this is not going to work out. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, look at them. Look at them knocking the ball around and combining and scoring goals. And you're going, not the same team. Not the same team. Now it's about keeping this thing going, keeping it on the rails and moving forward. Because, to your point, Shaka, you call it a little shaky. It was a lot shaky. It was a lot shaky. Don't go back to that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it takes much for a team that has been there for so long to go back to that. You got to keep this train moving forward and forget the disappointment. Use it as a platform for you to look back and say, no. Over there, scary. Over there, that's dark over there. We don't want any of that.
Yeah.
We have to continue to move this thing forward. Manchester United have done that over the last 3 games.
Mario, do you want to jump in on what Ale had to say about De Ligt?
No, about De Ligt, no, definitely. His confidence is growing. I think that's also to see in the team, you know. Like, if you look at a team, when a team is starting to win games, you understand, you as an individual, you grow. And I think De Ligt, what happened when he came there was always a whole different system for him to play. He arrived with a different coach, and he wanted to play like 4 at the back, now 3 at the back, sometimes he's the right side. We talked about it last week, about a throw-in. They cracked jokes that he couldn't throw the ball in right. But I'm happy that his confidence is growing, because that is what Ali is highlighting. Because you can see that now there is an individual that is feeling happy, and also you can see the celebration when they score goals and when he sees his team winning. You can see that there's more passion out of the game, and passion comes from, you know, when you believe in yourself and you are happy that the way everything is going. And I think that is one of the key things at Man United. Defensively, the key thing for the whole team is he made it more compact, because playing against Brighton, they will open you up. And luckily, Amaran didn't get exposed like that. He kept it compact, and that's why he won the game.
All right, just a reminder, in earlier La Liga action, Atletico de Madrid went up against Real Betis, and Atleti won that game by 2-0, their first away win all season. I'm sure it was a big moment for Cholo Simeone and his men. Our Alex Kirkland managed to get some post-match reaction from Jan Oblak.
Jan, it finally arrived, that victory away from home. What was the difference today?
It finally arrived. I don't remember when we win last time outside, so really important 3 points. And the difference, I honestly, I don't know. I'm just happy about 3 points. That's the most important. I think we did really good in the first half. We played good. We was good with the ball. We had chances to score. Then in the second half, I think we went too much on back, and we was in low block where we are not comfortable. But in the end, 2-0, like I said, important victory, and happy for the team.
Love to hear that Jan Oblak is not a fan of that low block. Anyways, for more La Liga content, you can head on over to our YouTube channel. And while you're there, make sure to subscribe. All right, let's get into some MLS playoffs, shall we? Vancouver hosting FC Dallas, 43rd minute now. Daniel Rios heading home.
What a header. Ball just kind of stood up middle of the box, and Rios arriving, running start, thumping finish.
58th minute now. Nice little run here from Sabi, who then gets taken down inside the box. And penalty.
I'm going to go with clumsy, Shaq. I believe that is a clumsy challenge. Thomas Muller, no issue with the finish. 2-0.
What can Thomas Muller do? He just ended up holding like 4 people on his back just there. Anyways, 83rd minute. Vancouver gets a 3rd goal, and they win this one 3-0. So Vancouver leading this series 1-0 so far. Remember, it's the best of 3 in this MLS playoffs, and Philadelphia Union also managed to get a win 1-0 over Chicago Fire. Welcome into Extra Time. Mario is still joining us, as well as Shaka and Ale. We've got your questions right here.
It's not just any Shaq.
Oh, no.
No.
Bundesliga Shaq. Yeah. Bundesliga Shaq. Yeah. For those who don't know, Shaka Hislop made his triumphant return to our Bundesliga coverage after he almost ruled himself out on purpose.
Yeah. Almost ruled himself out. He had ruled himself out.
He missed
but
the production.
he's back, baby.
That's right.
He missed the production meeting
Yeah. On purpose.
And we take our pre-show meetings very seriously. But now, Shaka was back
You're
on
back.
Bundesliga coverage.
Nobody has been more disappointed
Just
to
read
get
a
an
question.
assignment.
Read a question, please. Read anything. Just read something.
When our
Just start
schedule
reading.
when our schedule came out,
Alexis, just start.
no.
Just
This
start
is
reading
true story.
something. Just start doing.
This is true story. When our schedule came out, there was an empty spot on Saturday for Shaq, which means that he was off.
Oh, God.
But I knew he was on Bundesliga assignment. And then, while we were doing the show, he received an email and said, the schedulers made a mistake. You are in Bundesliga on Saturday. And this man could not have been more depressed. He went from an off day to Bundesliga coverage real quick.
But he did it so eloquently.
See, that's not true. That's not at all true.
Bundesliga
At all
Shaq.
true.
Yeah. Bundesliga Shaq.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the first question.
And somebody might have. Oh, sorry, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Somebody
Stop reading it, Alexis.
may have celebrated quite a bit that this assignment was put forth.
Let's start reading Alexis, please.
We're going to
Thank
read
you.
the question. Considering Carvajal's injury and Bellingham's return, should Xabi Alonso switch formation to 3-4-1-2, allowing Trent to play in a wing-back role, Jude to operate in the hole, and plenty of freedom for Vini and Mbappe up top? Ale?
Right. Upon review football, respectfully, this is what I would say to you. This team is first in La Liga, just beat Barcelona in El Clasico, and now we're gonna change formations just because we feel like it, so that we can have Trent on the field. Trent's still injured.
But eventually when he comes back.
Well, okay. Again, let me repeat what I just said. They are first
Yeah.
in La Liga, first. And they just beat Barcelona in El Clasico. This is not the moment to be changing formations to fit people and shoehorn people into the team. You continue to play the way that you're playing, and until somebody proves that they can beat you with that, with your best, and playing at your best level, you don't even think about changing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Mario?
Amen. You just said it to me. You know, if it's ain't broken, and Ali, you said it, yeah, why would I change it? Give me first a reason why I have to change, then I will change. But if there is no reason, let me continue on, because to play them two on top? No, they clearly can do it the way they're playing now. He plays left, Vini. Mbappe right through the middle. We talked about the offside moments. Okay, I think it's moving, guys. You don't need to change anything for me.
And, mind you, Mbappe is flying. The last thing you want to do is mess with whatever he's got going on. No, you hot, you keep playing the way that we've been playing.
All right, and Shaka's going to agree with both.
You agree?
I concur.
All right, we love that. Next question is also about Real Madrid. It took Real Madrid a full season to truly gel with their big signings. Do you think Liverpool will need the same amount of time before they're firing on all cylinders, Shaq?
By the looks of it, Liverpool need that amount of time. It shouldn't. And while we could talk about Real Madrid and their relative failures last season, they did finish second. And while, to the point, they weren't playing anywhere near as good as they are now, and it takes some time. I'm not. This game moves so quickly. I do not think if you're Liverpool, you just accept that. Well, this is not going to be our year, and accept that. Not giving the money that you spend. Arne Slot has to sort this out this season and get them competing. Otherwise, all that equity that he built up last season kind of starts to deteriorate really quickly. It's not there yet, but.
Can I ask Liverpool for a favor? Just do us a solid. We need you to start winning games. Yeah, see, I don't care whether Liverpool finishes first in the Premier League or not, whether they win the title or not, but I do like Stevie Nicol. and I want him to be around. So, look, this man, there is tension now that it has been building up.
Stressed.
There is a lot of stress, and that is not a body that can take some stress. So, let's just, we need some wins.
A stress TV affects everybody.
A stress
A stress TV also it's hard work for everybody.
Yes.
He's a lot
Hard
redder
work.
than usual.
But I still believe it, Slut. I understand what you guys are saying. I expect him to at least be a good captain and steady the ship. And don't, because I saw Szoboszlai, he played 3 positions. That made me a little worried. Right back, midfield, right back, mid. I don't like that so much. But I hope he steadies the ship because they need it right now. And I expect him to have the capabilities to do that.
You know who Szoboszlai reminded me of the other day, playing right back and then winger and then in the middle. I was like, is that Mario Melchior out there?
Oh, he wins
Look at him going down the line. Is that Mario? Oh, yeah,
Oh, not the Mario.
there he is.
Oh, bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Bang, baby. Bang, bang.
Alex, now, I watch a lot of Looky Luke. Don't worry about that. Looky Luke was my man, the cartoon guy. I was bang, bang.
We love it. We love Mario's analysis when he just does a little bang, bang with a little shimmy.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
Now I need to know who's Looky Luke, but carry on.
Just Google while I ask this next question. Next question. Who misses out on top 4, Mario? City, Chelsea, or Liverpool?
Miss the top 4. Ooh, that's a tough one. Oof.
For who?
Why are you doing that? Because all 3 for me, I still think they can move around. But City, you know what I will do? City will be in some difficult situation, and that will be on football, so that might affect the team.
Oh, all right. So he's going with City.
All right. It's breaking news over here.
City.
So if one of those miss out, who gets in? I'm not asking you.
Yeah,
I'm
just a
asking you. I don't know why I'm asking you.
I'm just a messenger.
So you're suggesting that none of them are missing out?
No, I'm just asking. So who is the likely candidate to displace them?
That's first.
No, that's not. Don't ask her. No, I'm not even looking over there. I'm not even looking over there.
But she's over there going.
I'm not even looking over there.
I can think of a team in red.
I'm not looking over there.
Manchester, who's on a 3-game win streak.
Sunderland and Bournemouth playing red.
3-game win streak. When you got the likes of Mateus Cunha,
I blame you, Ali.
firing on all cylinders,
I blame you, Ali.
Spurs, maybe.
You're not saying this, but she turned the chair and now she's looking around.
I'm feeling high and mighty for a bit.
I regret. Ask that question. I was like, oh,
The question
but what am I doing to myself?
Shaka, you walked right into that one.
I did.
Right into that one.
Nobody even asked me to walk into it.
The answer to the question is Shaka thinks City will miss out and Manchester United will make it.
All right. Oh. Wow. Well.
Shaka?
Yeah, what?
Oh, okay. All right, let's go to the next question. Is Van de Ven better than Van Dijk this season, Mario? I feel like that's a you question.
Yeah, we talking about, look, Van Dijk, clearly for me, you know, is a legendary footballer, you understand, because what he have done for Liverpool, and I think that people have to understand. But if we're talking about form right now, I think Van de Ven is definitely knocking on his door and saying like, hey, let me in. Because this kid is in form now. He's playing great football. The coach wants him to extend his deal. So that's another confidence boost for him. And he became the captain of his team. And his team is winning. So Spurs is doing well. So that's why I say, yeah, he's this season, Van de Ven is having a better season than Van Dijk. So far, we're not done yet.
Absolutely. That's the only thing I care about is Mario's LA smile.
That's all I saw. All I saw is the Twitter handle or whoever handle.
Yeah.
Mario's LA smile. Oh, baby.
Bang, bang.
Guys, come one day. I hope one day they allow you guys to come enjoy the sun in LA.
Oh, Mario, you know exactly who to ask. We're going to let you speak to the big bosses. So guys, anyone wants to chime in? Van de Ven better than Van Dijk this season?
Well, right now, clearly, yes. I mean...
But do you see him growing through the season to a point where he could be better than Virgil?
I don't think there's any question that Van de Ven is now standing centre-back.
Yeah.
I mean, the question around Van de Ven is can he stay healthy, or how long can he stay healthy? Van Dijk is still one of the best in the world, going through a lean spell, but kind of give him what he's seen from him with some consistency for as long as I can remember. If I were picking a team right now, I'd still pick Van Dijk. But to the question, if we're talking about just this season, nothing else, yeah, of course, Van de Ven.
Well, the next question is for Shaka. Shaka, will Sunderland finish above your beloved Newcastle this season?
Well, contractually, I have to say absolutely not. It's in my lifelong agreement with Newcastle United that I cannot see Sunderland finishing above Newcastle. We'll be all right. Don't worry, Newcastle will be all right.
Yeah.
Table isn't telling the truth right now about Newcastle and how well we're playing. I've been a promoted team that started well.
Is the table telling the truth about Manchester United?
We asking me or Alexis.
No, I'm just, I
Level
asked you, but
Bang, bang. We're coming.
You're so good. I asked you the question, Shaq, and all you see is her gathering her favorite.
I thought she was going to throw them. I thought she was
No.
Oh, boy.
Not yet.
She's so smart. She was smart. She moved it to me. She moved it to me quickly, and I think like, hey, let me divert it to Mario, so then everybody stop talking.
3 games.
Oh, boy.
3 games in a row.
Oh, boy.
My hair was flowing.
Oh, boy.
Bang, bang.
The bang.
All right, on that note.
Say no more. We are going home.
We are going home indeed. But thank you everyone for sending in your questions. We'll be back for more ESPN FC and Bang Bang Talk tomorrow.